Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, this is going to be one of our today's love tarot stories. Let's jump on in and see what we got. Got Empress. All right. Empress energy starts out with some Libra and some Taurus energy. And I just keep staring at this incredible red that she's wearing. Red and gold. She looks very regal, very powerful. Red is a color that says, I shall be noticed. Now, she may or may not be intending to be noticed, but she is. And she's being noticed. Moving on. She's being noticed by someone who is aware that she's moving on. Page of Swords is here. This is somebody they're kind of out here aimlessly swinging their sword, acting like they're going to chop their way through the jungle, but there's not really a jungle, right? They're on a paved path. It almost seems like this is somebody who's in their mind, like imagining they're on this difficult trek and they have to fight their way through, kind of like they get up in their head in the land of imagination when they're not really, and they're realizing that. They're realizing that. There's something here where if a character recognizes that an empress is moving on, they may be realizing exactly why, and they're just now realizing that it didn't have to go this way. It didn't have to go this way. There weren't big obstacles in the way if they had wanted to connect with the Empress. I mean, that's one interpretation, but let's see. We have a Four of Pentacles. We have a Ten of Swords. We have the Ten of Pentacles. I don't believe that this situation is coming back. I really think it was, I think that an Empress says, I can't hemorrhage my energy. So this is it. It's done. I'm going to say that a time and a date has come to pass. For a period of time, this Empress could have been very empathetic. She could have been very understanding, patient, knowing everybody has to do things in life at their pace. But at some point, and she probably didn't wait. She probably still continued to excel and grow and do everything she needed to. But at this point, she's no longer even going to be entertaining the idea that a particular person could one day re enter her life. She's about to enter into a whole different lifestyle. She may be moving, she may be changing everything with the Ten of Pentacles and the dogs of loyalty here. I feel like she is living her best life, but emotionally she's moved on permanently. I do think permanently from someone who pages have a long journey to take before they're ever going to get to, an emperor's palace or an empress's palace. And this particular person seems like they were lollygagging. They were not really, they didn't really have any big reason why they couldn't seem to like mature maybe or grow. They weren't really having to hack their way through a dense forest, lost somewhere, and survive life's hardships. They were already on a paved road. So whatever it is that they did, they didn't get their act together in time. The Empress knows emotionally it's time to withdraw, and she is pretty much immediately about to turn around and see someone else who she's on the cusp of meeting, somebody that's going to fit really well into her world, into her life. She's over here engaged in conversation. She's walking through a new doorway. Now she's kind of all in gold, but she's going to meet someone else who's also in red, like, hey, look at me, look at me. I think this is going to be her emperor, even though she may meet them on a very auspicious day, maybe the 10th. I don't know, it's 10 of Pentacles, right? But she definitely had to make the emotional decision. And I don't even know if it's to make an emotional decision as much as it was, I think her emotions stopped being either placed on this page. She really is, something's over for her. Something's really done. She's forever holding back her energy and her thoughts and her potential to give. And that is what's allowing her to move in a new direction. We got two tens. Major change. Major change only for the Empress. And I kind of think that we don't need to talk anymore about that person from her past. I want to see who the man in red is. Please remember, I do not read for genders. To keep a storyline straight, I will try very hard to identify who our character is. And I will say the Empress is classical feminine archetype, but I always talk about this as the sun versus the moon, right? The moon is considered feminine, the sun is considered masculine. The moon has a gravitational pull. The sun emits, plasma and heat. So it has like an action taking energy. And that's how I look at masculine, feminine. Someone just got enraged at me yesterday, and screamed at me in the comments over my perpetuating stereotypes. And actually, I'm trying to do the reverse, but however you want to see it, you do you, boo. But in my world, I don't care what the gender is in my stories, only how a character shows up. So we have a gravitational, nurturing energy, the gravitational pull of a divine feminine. She's pulling things toward herself. Maybe that's why she's going to find herself in a position, in a place to maybe meet this particular person in red. We do not have, with the Knight of Cups, this person is not out hunting for her. She's being drawn to wherever they are, is what I would say. They don't know, I mean, not to be rude, but I don't think they know she exists. They wouldn't have known to go meet her. She's going to be new on the scene in their world. And the only reason that can happen is because she said, I'm going to move on. So she's doing something different in her life. She's going somewhere different. She's changing her behavior patterns. She's the one who is taking on a new path in life, doing something different in life. And that is what makes her cross paths with whomever this Ten of Pentacles guy in red is going to be. One of the big things she's not doing anymore is Five of Cups. She is not standing outside. She's also not worried or thinking about, what if that ex knows that I moved on, can sense my absence? What if they're out there sad over me? That's not entering into her world. She doesn't have, it doesn't mean that she doesn't have like compassion still for people, but there's a certain time in life where you go, I can't be so empathetic that I imagine how I might be hurting the feelings of someone who didn't ever come toward me, but was still spying on me, wishing they could be with me. I don't want to think anymore about, is it going to hurt them if I move on with somebody else? Because keep in mind, every character they have to be master of their own ship. They have to make a decision and move forward. Someone who remains a page and doesn't really move forward doesn't mean she suddenly is like, well, I hope that they're sad and they know what they missed out on. It's not that, but it also is like, I don't think she's giving even a single thought to whether or not they might be out there and missing her. I do not think that it's a concern to her anymore. And that is not to be callous or rude. It's not her sorrow to feel. That is the other reason she's able to meet somebody new. Genuinely. Basically, this is somebody who is not still holding space for another person. And that's why, like, let's think of relationships for just a minute like furniture. If we already had a huge couch sitting in the middle of our living room, do we have room to bring in another couch? No. If we have a couch and we say, oh, I'm waiting for the day that someday it'll be a comfortable couch to sit in, but that hasn't happened yet. It's not, our character is realizing, what am I doing? I need to move this couch out and just go get the couch that I want. The big thing is we have to be willing to let go of the old couch first, because it literally is taking up the floor plan. We can't move somebody else new into our hearts if our heart space is still filled with the concern, the consideration, the emotions, and the hopes pinned on this page. So that's why she's now truly able to meet somebody new. And I think that's why she's entering into their life, this new person's life. Hanged Man, Queen of Swords. The one thing I gotta say, they, and I don't know how this is gonna go just yet, but they, when she enters into their world, they may suddenly realize that they themselves had been waiting on a Queen of Swords. They were delayed. Now, here again, this dude's in red. They may have been waiting to either meet someone like her and they just hadn't. No one had crossed their path that was like her, or they had been waiting on a Queen of Swords. Now, Queen of Swords in the upright would have excellent boundaries and be a good communicator. If they fell for somebody else and was sitting there waiting for that person to choose them, Queen of Swords is not going to dilly dally or be hard to read. She's going to say how she feels. So my impression right now is that this might be that they have been waiting to meet someone like her, and it's just no one had been in their sphere that was who they were looking for. You know, I said before that I saw her as the woman in gold coming through the doorway. You do notice she's in that same, well, I guess it's like goldy green dress, but with the red sash. So I'm thinking this might be our Empress. They don't know that that's their Empress yet. Let me see. Tell me just a little bit about this Queen of Swords. I wonder if that's why this character has been single, though. He's been hoping to meet somebody who is what he's been looking for, and he just hasn't come across that in his environment. He hasn't met somebody like that. She's new. She walks into his world somehow. We have Eight of Swords, we have Knight of Wands, we have the Seven of Wands, we have the Four of Cups. I'm telling you, it is not that he is so insanely picky. It is that he has been stuck on the idea that he'll know the person when he meets them. He's been stuck even though he's tried dating others. He just couldn't make it work. He has rejected other people's cups. He maybe feels bad about this, but why didn't it work? Because I'm waiting for the woman in gold and red. I'm waiting for the woman, whatever, the man, the whomever my person is. I'm waiting for the person that I will know has a bond to me, but I haven't met it yet. They might regret that they went down other relationship roads, tried. I think that they tried to fall in love before and it didn't work. They didn't want to actually make a long-term commitment to the wrong person. So they could be somebody who's been single for a long time. They may even have the reputation of being somebody who, oh yeah, you never settle down. Oh yeah, you never, they could even be called a player by some people, or they've been dubbed that and they regret being called that. But I don't think that this character, I don't think that he was willing to just go ahead and say yes, even if it was really hard, because he was trying to meet the right person, but he did not make a big offer. Other people made big offers to him. In fact, if anything, I believe he would try dating, and then people that he dated wanted to latch onto him, and he actually had to push them back and say, hey, I'm sorry, it was very nice to meet you. I did want to see where things could go, but I'm not the person you're looking for. And I don't know that prospective romantic partners took that very well. I do think he feels bad about that. Maybe that's why he's sitting here by himself talking to dogs instead. Maybe he's like, I don't want to be called the person who breaks people's hearts. I've tried to date. I've tried to find, some common connection, but when I don't feel it and they do, then what? Then I look like a monster. That's a real sticking point for him. He does not seem to want to hurt anybody or get someone hooked on him that he doesn't reciprocate with. That's an interesting, different way to see this person. They might have been a little unfairly accused of being a player. Now, here's what I would say separates, like someone who has every right to go and try to date and get to know somebody and see what could potentially blossom and grow, versus a player. A player to me is like, I just love the game. I love the chase, but I have no serious intentions, but I'll say that I have serious intentions to get them hooked on me because it's an ego boost. That's playing games. Or somebody who, gives a completely like false image of what they're looking for, like, is you can treat somebody really well and say, well, I mean, ultimately I'm looking for something real. That's why I'm trying to date. But I'm not going to pretend that, from date one, guess what? I'm planning on marrying you. That a player might play a game like that. Somebody who's just simply trying to meet the right one and trying to be decent and treating somebody well, there's a fine line between leading somebody on versus having the right to try dating and see what comes of it. But I feel like they consistently found themselves in situations where somebody would get really attached to them, want to offer their whole cup, and they were like, I can't. I mean, it was a great date or two, but this isn't right for me. You're wonderful, but there's just something that tells me that this isn't the person for me. I really think that this character has struggled with that, and maybe being dubbed someone that was indecisive, when I think all they were trying to do is find the person that matches them. So tell me about her and him. Well, it is definitely a new day, and maybe that they meet this year. Again, we see her walking through the threshold. She's changed something, so she walks through new doors, places she's never been. This is how she meets them, and I think the second she walks in, they already know. That's what I've been looking for. I think she knows it too. This is a kind of immediate. You got Capricorn energy there. I feel like they recognize her right away. It may not be the same for her, because I don't think she's out there looking for somebody new. I think she's out, I don't know if she's traveling or she's going into a business or she's going to an event, whatever doorway she walks through. She didn't come to find a romantic partner. She came in because she was doing something else. She definitely did not come in for a romantic partner. Page of Wands in the reverse. She's not even going to notice that they're looking at her. We got a Three of Cups. We got an Ace of Pentacles. Again, with the gateway. She's there maybe to spend time with friends. Could be someplace where there's a hot tub, or I don't know. This feels like a really luxurious location that she's at, but this is a new beginning. Her life's going to change after this, and she does not even know it. And I think they finally are ready to truly pursue. She is simply over an ex. She's out doing different things in her life, and they are ready to pursue her when they see her. We got the Devil. We got the Knight of Wands. She might be warned against them, like, oh, don't tangle with him. Oh, yeah, you're gorgeous. He likes ladies in red, but don't tangle with him. He's just a player. She may be warned against him, and yet with the Lovers and the Two of Pentacles, I really think that these two end up being like, what do you mean? You're the person I've been looking for. You're the person that I would choose. The Lover's card is a choice. The reason I didn't stay with other people is because I was looking for somebody like you. I think she realizes they have a lot more in common. They have a similarity between them for sure. For her to see that Two of Pentacles, she might still be a little on the fence. Like, this person who's pursuing me, are they my wish fulfillment? We got the Star card, Page of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Nine of Swords. She is undoubtedly the Queen of Swords. But she's going to take her time getting to know them. She is not looking to leap into a new romance. This is a new romance. It does start slow. She reminds herself, look, I just moved on from a previous relationship. Isn't it too soon for me to jump into something new? She's going to have boundaries up, and she's going to probably friend zone them for a bit. They're not going to care. That gives them a chance to prove that they're not a player, that they're investing in her, that they are interested, that she's what they've been looking for. It's a good thing that they're meeting at this moment in time. It'll clear his reputation, and it'll give her time to adjust and decide if she really does want to move forward with him. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave that one there. I wish these two all the best. Bye.